open.
So are you going to come play with me? Then get your tickets now at mighty1090.com.
We are ready.
Dan Cilio here.
It is time for another Friday broadcast. Hello, live stream.
Brioche vanilla batter.
Glad to see you there this morning.
Oatmeal and griddle it. And the result is crispy, sweet, double-dip French toast.
Ready to go to the car show?
Sprinkles of cinnamon sugar or with lemonade cream and glazed strawberries. And right now at IHOP, you can enjoy the new double-dip French toast and a regular egg combo together for only $6.49. You will find everything that you love about breakfast at one of IHOP's 26 San Diego locations.
That's probably going to be right about where you want it.
Ron Siegel Radio on ESPN Radio 1700. Now, live in studio, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries as we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take, how your family, your business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Before we get into our intriguing content today, please join me in welcoming our featured guest and repeat offender, Tom Borsuk's in the house. Senior Samaritans, welcome.
Thank you for having me, Ron. I appreciate it.
Glad to have you with us. Let me remind you, if you ever have any home or finance-related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you, and you can reach out to me directly at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are no operators standing by. I am it.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
Well, I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan or plan to save you money. I personally work with you. Even if you don't have any needs today, save this number in your phone for future reference, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. We are celebrating today. Not only is it my beautiful wife's birthday, but it is National Cherry Turnover Day. Believe me, I will not be bringing her a cherry turnover. It will get me in more trouble than I generally am in. I'm not a big fan of cherry, but wishing her a happy birthday today. Get to spend a lot of time together right after the broadcast. How's everybody doing? I mean, it's got to be a great day out there. A Friday in Southern California. Great weather, getting ready for the end of summer. Gas prices down another 2 cents. $2.51 a gallon nationally, $3.38 in the state of confusion. But we are continuing. Got some fun going on. So with the fun that we are having today, I thought I would share some of these little bit of trivia with you. It's just because it is a little bit of fun on a Friday. The Oxford Dictionary came out with some new words. Tom, I might even try and quiz you on some of these. I don't know if you've seen these.
Oh boy.
Awesome sauce.
Whoa, that sounds pretty self-explanatory.
Extremely good or excellent. Now, here's one that is one of my favorite. Well, I better not go into that one. Just that one. We'll stay away from that one. Hangry. Bad temper or irritable as a result of hunger. Okay, that one we can...
I've had that.
Okay. How about manspreading?
Oh boy, I don't even want to guess.
Manspreading, the practice whereby a man, especially when traveling on public transportation, we don't do that in California, adopts a sitting position with his legs wide apart.
Oh boy.
In such a way to encroach on an adjacent seat or seats. Okay. We are getting very, very close to wine o'clock, which is very similar to some people will appreciate beer o'clock.
I like it.
Right? An appropriate time of day for starting to drink wine or beer. I would suggest just about any time of day is good to start drinking wine or beer. Just a personal opinion.
Especially on a Friday.
Especially on a Friday, exactly. Swatting. This is a new one. Swatting. The action or practice of making a hoax call to the emergency services in an attempt to bring about the dispatch of a large number of armed police officers to a particular address.
So I know whose ass to kick.
Probably not something you want to get caught doing. Social justice warrior. I don't think I get too many social justice warriors listening to Ron Siegel Radio. It is a person who expresses or promotes socially progressive views.
Yeah.
Probably not listening to us this morning.
Not so much.
Rage quit. Angrily abandon an activity or pursuit that has become frustrating, especially the playing of a video game. And last but not least, there are a whole bunch of those here. I'm going to use the more tame version. Pocket dial. That's now in the Oxford Dictionary. They also put in butt dial. I think, again, those are pretty explanatory.
And common.
And common, exactly. Causes a little bit of problem there. The full list of new words for the Oxford Dictionary, if you want to get a copy of it, just give me an email, ron@ronsiegelradio.com. Maybe I'll even share it on our Facebook and Twitter feeds if you're on those. Moving right along. How about, Tom, you got any kids going to school?
Not that I know of.
Not that you know. How much are we spending on school supplies? This is from American Express, does a study talking about this one. According to a random sampling of 2,127 parents, we will be spending an average of $1,239 on school supplies and expenses in 2015, compared to $1,151 in 2014, an increase of 7.6%. Think about that, $1,200 in school supplies. I've got 3 kids. Thank goodness they're not in school anymore. Mm-hmm. Man, I mean, when you think $3,600 for school supplies.
Wow.
Yeeks. That's a toughie. Spending on extracurricular activities, we expect that to increase by 20% over 2014, $455 per child compared to last year at $380 a child. Obviously, sports are going to be the biggest portion of that one. And obviously, we are right in that time of year that I have to always play this just for Tom. Those of you watching us on RonSiegelRadio.tv can see Tom crying right here. It is difficult for him to listen to the song. We're not going to pay too much of it for you, Tom. Just about football season. We're getting really close.
Very exciting, actually. They just, of course, the real team just named their starter, so I'm excited.
And so did the junior college in LA.
Yeah.
Couldn't resist that one, but we're all ready. Unbelievable. You know, they are talking about another one of those interesting studies that we get out of the state of confusion on a regular basis. Looking at spending $4.6 billion to try and get the 2024 Olympics to come back to Los Angeles. $4.6 billion. So we had our low-budget staff find out what we might be able to spend $4.6 billion on, alternatively, that might help the city of Los Angeles. So we could buy 12.8 billion shade balls. You familiar with the shade balls? One of those black balls that they've been sticking into some of the reserves to hope water doesn't evaporate. We could build 4.6 desalination plants. Costs about $1 billion a plant. That was quick math. I did that one. 50 million gallons of drinking water per day come out of those desalination plants. We've got another one here for you, Tom. 35,926 students could go to the University of California if they want to. I'm not sure that they really want to. Back at you there, buddy. 82% of Los Angeles Metro's current projects could be funded.
I have a good one.
Right. Los Angeles Metropolitan Transportation Authority adopted a $5.6 billion budget to finish its current projects. So with that $4.6 billion could help there.
I have a way to reduce the traffic by half.
How's that?
Build a wall in the middle higher so you can't see the other side. Because whenever there's an accident, both sides stop.
That would help the traffic a lot.
50%.
You're right. And it'd be pretty simple.
Build a higher wall. That would cost lots of money, but build the walls higher.
Mr. Trump can do it. He'll just have Mexico take care of the expenses. How about new water mains? We could do new water mains that'd be $4 billion to replace the 100-year-old water mains that are in California. Just a few ideas for Los Angeles if they want some concepts from the crack staff at Ron Siegel Radio on things we could do with $4.6 billion instead of the Olympics. Speaking of water, San Diego, they're coming up with a new water strategy. San Diego's water strategy deserves rewards from the state. That's according to our friends at the San Diego Union Tribune. View of 2,100 reverse osmosis vessels is what we were looking at in this report. Over the past 25 years, few communities across the nation have done as much to enhance water supply reliability as San Diego County's unbiased opinion that they've offered of themselves, coming from the Tribune. Strategy is achieving its primary objective by helping the San Diego region become more water resilient to drought conditions. I'll have to do some driving next week when I'm down in the San Diego area to see exactly what's going on down there, and maybe they've got green grass down there. We certainly don't have any in Orange County. But just to give you a few things to have a little bit of fun here on a Friday in Southern California, because you are listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, senior living is on the docket with Tom Borsuk. We're going to also talk about Medicare's maze, how to maximize benefits, the price you pay when adult children move back home, and getting a lump sum from Social Security. How could you possibly get a lump sum from Social Security? We will tell you how to do it, all that and more. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, it's 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Connect with us, facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter @Ron Siegel. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Are you currently renting a home? Do you like paying someone else's mortgage payment? Why not explore the options to purchase your own home? Can you imagine a 30-year fixed-rate loan below 4.25% APR? This means with $10,500, you can purchase a $295,000 home and have a principal and interest payment of about $1,400 per month. What are you paying in rent? Does your family deserve the opportunity to take advantage of the current market? To learn more about these exciting opportunities, the Siegel Lending Team is standing by to speak with you. Call now, 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Or 1-800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender. Not endorsed or sponsored by any government agency.
Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel Lending Team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel Lending Team knows that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 21037, and DRE number 018694552.
Southern California attorneys have over 15,000 real estate agents to call in Orange County for their personal and professional needs. Why do they overwhelmingly call Melinda Johnson? Simple. It's the Melinda Johnson trifecta. Melinda is an attorney, real estate broker, and realtor. Does your family deserve the same professional services California lawyers demand? Call Melinda Johnson at 714-863-5485. That's 714-863-5485. Or on the web at freedomfirstproperties.com.
Are you a veteran, police officer, firefighter, doctor, nurse, or teacher? If so, you qualify as one of Ron Siegel's VIP heroes, and we have rewards up to $5,000 or $10,000 when you buy, sell, or refinance a home with one of the Ron Siegel Radio partners. As one of the heroes, real estate agents will rebate part of their commission, lending partners will give a credit at closing, the title company has special published rates, and many other service providers have incentives too. All you need to do is call Ron Siegel Radio at 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit VIPHeroProgram.com. Just think about what you will do with all the rebates and incentives from the partners partners of Ron Siegel Radio. Just call us at 800-306-1990 so we can show you our appreciation for your service.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That's my message, and as your consumer advocate, I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. I just got a great email coming in. Tom, you might even, I don't know if you're going to want to pipe in on this one. I'm not going to even ask you, though. What do they call it? It's AMAC versus AARP. I'm sure you know what both of them are. I'm going to share with everybody what they are. AMAC, the Association of Mature American Citizens. The AARP, the insurance company. I shouldn't say that. It'll probably get me in trouble again, right? Because we do know that the AARP is extremely liberal. I have decided I wouldn't, even though I might be getting close to the age where I'm eligible, probably wouldn't join that one. I do like AMAC. I've watched some of those. I don't know if you've watched any of the things that the two organizations are doing, but it is a little bit of fun for me just because AMAC is a little more in line with my way of thinking. If you're not even familiar with them, you really should jump in and whether you like them or not, it doesn't matter to me. That's up to you. The issue is just make an intelligent, educated decision. Same thing with the elections. I say that all the time to folks. You can vote however you want. You can vote for the wrong way. You can vote for the right way. But make an intelligent decision by doing your homework, not listening to sound bites and some of these stump speeches that these goofballs come out with. Personal opinion. Getting a lump sum from Social Security, that is the subject of today's Word on Wealth segment. Again, brought to you by Commerce for a Cause. We love Commerce for a Cause. Great organization. I'm not going to go into all the details of them, but great group of people. Getting a lump sum from Social Security. Can you do it? Yeah, you can get a lump sum from Social Security. A lot of people are not familiar with Social Security and how they get their information from the wrong sources. They go to their friend's friend, and they think that they understand Social Security because they started taking Social Security when they turned 62 years old. Are you aware that the difference between taking Social Security at age 62 and age 72 could mean $500,000 to you and your family? Are you familiar that, I shouldn't even go down this road, but I will just because we like to share information. If you are divorced, if you are unmarried and you got divorced to somebody after 10 years of marriage, you have more rights to your ex-spouse's Social Security than the married spouse does. Think about that one. It is absolutely true. There are 5 exes, if they were all married to the same guy for 10 years and not remarried, they can all collect against his Social Security. Got to wait until you're 66 or 67, depending upon your age. But here's the issue. File and defer, or file and suspend, I guess is their technical term. You file for Social Security at age 66 or 67, whatever your full retirement age is. You decide I'm going to defer until age 70, but at age 69 you get sick, or 68 you get sick. You can actually ask for those back payments in a lump sum. You're not going to get the enhanced benefit, but you can get a lump sum payment. Again, I'm not trying to get you all the information here on Social Security. What I want you to know is there are a lot of technicalities to it, and you need to consult with somebody that really knows the issues. And if you don't know somebody that really knows Social Security forward and backward, what the break-even ages are by taking it at 62, 66, 67, 70, you need to know those things. If you don't know them, give me a call at 800-306-1990. I will put you in touch with somebody that does understand all of those issues. It's something that is important. And as with our theme this morning, a lot of what we're going to talk about is our senior loved ones. Many of you might be in the same scenario that I am, called the sandwich generation. You don't hear anybody talk about the sandwich generation. They talk about baby boomers and millennials and Gen X and Gen Y and I don't know, all this other stuff that I don't understand. But sandwich generation, that is the generation that gets to look out. We're lucky enough to still have our parents, and we have kids. So we're the sandwich right in between. Tom, do you ever deal with any of the sandwichers?
All the time. I actually renamed it myself to the Big Mac because the sandwich tends to be like you're paying for your parents and your kids, right? Well, our age, you're paying for your parents and your kids and your grandkids and perhaps even your great-grandkids. I have families that have 5 generations and it's second generation, so they're paying for their parents, 90-year-old parents, and their kids and their kids' and their newborn great-grandkids.
Well, some good news for you, Tom. We're going to talk about your business in just a second, but some really good news for you. You'll probably appreciate this. Is at this seminar that I went to with Allison Ferguson, Transamerican Financial Services, or Transamerican Financial Advisors, I think. I always get their name wrong. But I was with them last night, and they were sharing the largest growth demographic in America is centurions. There's now 60,000 people that are over 100 years of age in our country. And I think they said that by the year 2020 or 2025, there should be 1 million people in our country that are 100 years of age or older.
It's amazing. It's amazing. I more and more people that I'm dealing with, there are 5 living generations. It's amazing.
That is, you got to get started early.
Yeah. If I'm dealing with a 65-year-old, their kids are 45, their kids are 20, and they're having newborns. There's 4 generations plus their parents. It's really nuts. That's why it's the Big Mac. Lots of layers.
Lots of layers.
And somebody's paying for them all. So.
Somebody's paying for them all. So let's talk a little bit about Senior Samaritans. What do you do at Senior Samaritans?
I help families. You talk about education. You talk about educating yourself. When you brought your Social Security topic, so important just to educate yourself. I help families navigate through the process of finding care for their seniors. A lot of people don't know what to do or where to go until it's time that they have to. That was me. That was you. I knew my dad was getting older. He was 82, 83, 84. All of a sudden, at some point he's going to need help, but I didn't know what yet. And then when he needed it, then I was like, oh, now what? Now what do I do? And so I was in a state of complete chaos when he went to the hospital and the doctor said, he can't go home anymore. I went, what do you mean by that? And he said, well, you got to provide care for him. I said, what is that? What, where, how, when, how much? What's it cost? What's the commitment on my end, my family? So I had to navigate my family and bring family dynamics into the picture. A brother that was out of the picture for 10 years, I got to bring him into the picture, and just it throws everybody into that chaotic moment of family dynamics and figuring out, what are we going to do for dad? How are we going to handle this? How long is he going to live? What are we going to do with our stepmom who's living with him? There's a lot of factors that just get thrown into one big pile. I help families navigate through that at no charge to the family. So it's really a family advocate to help them understand, what do we do now? Where do we go? Where do we turn? And I'm that person that helps them.
And I can tell you, I've sent a lot of people over to speak with Tom, and every one of them are thrilled. And I'm going to share with you something that Tom won't, but I will, because I am a consumer advocate and I can get away with it. There is a national company that does what Tom does. Do not call them. I am not saying they're bad. I'm saying that the process that they go through is not in your best interest. I'll tell you exactly why it's not in your best interest. You call the national company, they run a lot of ads, they've got a real nice looking lady that's on TV. I don't even remember what movies she was in, but she's a famous actress. And as soon as you call, they put your name in a database. And they send your name out to every community they've got a contract with. And you're going to get inundated with mail from these people for the rest of your life. You can't get off their mailing list. You can't get them to stop calling you. If you want that, go for it. But the other part of it is then it also precludes somebody like Tom from really giving you the best possible service, because the companies are basically under contract with that national company to work with them. So be careful of putting your name into those databases. I'm a consumer advocate. I don't get paid from any of the companies. So I'm just sharing with you experience and knowledge firsthand. So just beware. That is my 2 cents worth because I can. Tom, one of the questions that comes up, though, is how early do you start thinking? I mean, if mom and dad are in, good health. I mean, I'll be using myself, okay? My parents or my mom now, my dad was in his early 70s and not the most active people in the world. You could almost guess that, from their lack of activity, that, they didn't have the stamina. I've got neighbors that are basically the same age, and I can't keep up with them. Indeed. One might be great to be looking for and doing exploring. The other may have you don't know. So what is your recommendation? Where do you start the exploration process?
That's an interesting question because obviously the seniors, they don't want to hear that they need anything or need any help. My dad, same thing. If I suggested anything to my dad, he's like, I don't need any help. Come on. And I agree. That'll be me. In my 80s, I'll be like, leave me alone until I need it. Exactly.
We're going to talk about when you need it, though, when we come back. Great way to break up, right? Just a little tease, Tom. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. When we come back, when do you start that research project? Price you pay when adult children move back home. Medicare's maze. Reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Are you purchasing or own a luxury home? If you're like so many others, your home is your largest asset and the mortgage is your largest debt. The Siegel lending team has some amazing financing opportunities right now. Jumbo loans up to $2 million, 30-year rates below 4%, 15-year rates near 3.5%, and if you can believe it, 7-year interest-only hybrids in low 3s. The Siegel lending team has all the options for your jumbo or second home loan requirements. Take advantage of them while you can. To learn more about all the other financing products available from the Siegel lending team, call 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL lendingteam.com. Again, call 1-800-306-1990. Rates subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender.
Did you know that banks and credit bureaus are rewarded financially if you have bad credit? And the worse your credit score is, the more money they can make off of you? How does that make you feel, knowing that banks are getting rich off of your hard-earned money? How does it make you feel, knowing that if a bank or a credit bureau makes a mistake on your credit report, they benefit from it and it hurts you? The Fair Credit Report Act of 1971 requires banks and credit bureaus to report only accurate information, and nearly 100% of all credit reports are inaccurate. If you're sick and tired of being broke and tired of being robbed by the banks, you owe it to yourself and to your family to call Rondi. Rondi is a FICO-certified credit professional and has helped thousands of people just like you get out of debt and establish great credit. Rondi's number is 855-608-1990. Again, that's 855-608-1990. Or visit creditsanitizer.com. Again, that website is creditsanitizer.com.
I love Solutions for Change. They're dedicated to solving family homelessness, one family, one community at a time. They do beautiful work, truly changing lives. They're a big event of the year. It's the 5th annual gala, an evening to remember with our American heroes. Saturday, September 19th in the Jet Source hangar at the Carlsbad Airport. It's going to be awesome. Taya Kyle, author and widow of Chris Kyle from American Sniper, is going to be the main speaker. Joining Taya will be Navy SEAL and former pro football player Clint Bruce, and I have the honor of attending the festivities as well. Jeffrey Strauss from Pamplemousse Grill will be catering the evening. There's going to be a hosted craft cocktail reception, live entertainment, silent and live auction, all to raise money for Solutions for Change. Tickets are available. Please grab them as soon as possible. I'd love to see you there. 760-941-6545. That's 760-941-6545 or solutionsforchange.org.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That's my message, and as your consumer advocate, I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio anytime. 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990. The price you pay when adult children move back home. That is the subject of today's Mortgage Minute, brought to you by CreditSanitizer.com. You have a credit report. It is wrong. They're all wrong. That's why I know yours is. What are you doing about it? Credit Sanitizer, they've got the solutions. Pew Research Center analysis released last month. More millennials are now living with their parents than during the Great Recession. As of the first 4 months of this year, young adults living with their parents in their parents' homes has increased from 24% to 26%. With all of these sons and daughters moving back home, who is paying their living expenses? I know the answer to this one, because I've got millennials that are living at home. So, and my wife says sometimes,
You're absolutely useless.
yeah, I wouldn't say anything like that, but it's amazing. But you know something, I don't mind. I enjoy the kids. Having them around is fun. It keeps us young, but does cost money. If you are not in your growth, in your asset accumulation phase of your life, you know, it could be expensive. $8,000 per year per child living at home is what some of the national statistics are. If you support only one adult child a year at that rate, think about what that's doing if you're trying to save money to retire. $8,000 a year. And Tom was just telling us about the Big Mac generation having maybe 3, 4, 5 generations. But if they're all with you, you might go get a second job. That is the Mortgage Minute, again brought to you by CreditSanitizer.com. We're chatting before the break a little bit with Tom Borsuk, Senior Samaritans. Tom helps seniors navigate, or families, not even just seniors, people navigate the senior community living. It's a great lifestyle when you really understand it. There's so much misconception. We were starting to chat before the break, and we're going to get into the idea of how great that lifestyle can be with Tom in just a minute. But before the break, we were chatting about when you get started on the process, Tom. It seems to me like, you know, that nobody has a reservation for any one of the cognitive disorders, dementia, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, you know, what we used to call being senile. Mm-hmm. There's no reservation for that. You know, you can't say that, it's going to happen to John on December 18th of 2017. How do you know so you don't blindside? I mean, we've talked about having the standby reverse mortgage just for those people, even if you don't need any funds, but have it available as a line of credit so that you can take care of health care. It's a big issue. How do you know when to start looking at communities?
Yeah, it's a touchy one because, again, the seniors are not the ones that are going to say, hey, I think you should start looking. It's actually, I think, in my opinion, the family should just start doing it on their own as they're reaching their 50s and 60s for their 80 and 90-year-old parents. They should start looking and educating themselves and finding out, are my parents financially set for something like this? When you find out and learn the costs, or if they're not, then you need to probably get yourself added to all your financial discussions that you have, adding in senior care to your financial planning. People don't add senior care to their financial planning.
You know, we've done some chats about that on the program. Just because you're so accurate, we go to sit down with our financial planner. Many of us have some really great financial planners, and we talk about when do you want to retire, and you can plan for that. Are you going to help your kids with their weddings or not? You can plan for that. Are you going to help your kids with college educations? We can plan for that. We don't think about taking care of mom and dad Because what are we going to do? Kick them out to the street if they don't have the funds?
Or yourself, actually. Because
sure.
You have to think about, are you going to put that burden on your children? So when you plan for yourself, you're mitigating their need to provide for you, because they're that generation. They'll be in their 60s and 70s paying for you at, well, we'll be 90s and 100, right?
Right.
So they're going to be paying for us as well as their kids, their grandkids, and their great-grandkids.
And that one you can plan on, because I know in my case, I mean, my wife and I married 28 years. We're not going anywhere, right? So there's 2 of us that we have to put into the budget.
Yeah.
But when we talk about parents, 1, 2, 4, 8, right? Because, I mean, obviously, again, we're lucky enough that our parents were married 50 years each.
Yeah.
But this is California. Half of all first-time marriages end in divorce, right? 70% in Orange County.
Yeah.
So how many people are you responsible for, and are you planning for that?
That works out better for Social Security, though, by the way, I hear.
Yeah, exactly. Get married, stay married 10 years, then divorce, don't marry again. You can collect that extra money.
But the big thing is really just at planning for the cost, and educating yourself on the cost, because right now, $4,000 to $6,000, 5 years, 10 years from now, $7,000 to $8,000 a month. That's expensive. That's for one person. So you can see that I get families all the time. They'll say, "Oh, I have $500,000 in the bank. That's plenty." Well, do the math on divide that by $5,000 a month, and it runs out in 3 to 4 years.
And it's interesting that you say that you're using a number of $5,000 a month, and again, that's another great reason to give us a call so we can put you in touch with Tom. Is when I did the statistics on this. The actual statistics for one individual, if you want in-home health care, roughly $30,000 a year, $29,000 a year, national numbers. If you want a community, 90,000 is the national numbers for living in a senior community, 90,000 a year per person, $7,500 a month. So you're talking 5,000, and I know you're in Southern California, so you've got Newport Beach and Irvine and the Inland Empire, wherever it might be, but that's some nice areas.
Yeah, and let me add to that, because now that some of the laws have changed for home care, specifically home care in your own home. Most people think that's the least expensive option. It's now the most expensive option. You can look at it as a rule of thumb, $18 to $20 an hour.
Right.
So you can do the math on that, and a full-time 24-hour a day in your home is about $350 to $400 a day. So it's about 10 to 15 grand a month for home care.
Now let's talk about this part of it also, Tom, because this is something that since you and I have been chatting, I'm more and more passionate about, because I've gotten educated somewhat. I mean, the teacher is doing a great job. It's the pupil that might be a little bit slow.
That's the education you got, I think.
Do we have to go back to that again just for you? I mean, if you want me to go back, and it's nice that I've got the control panel. I don't have the
controls, unfortunately.
I've got the control panel here for you, Tom.
Oh boy.
I'll bring that down a little bit just so we can. Should we leave that in the background for you, Tom?
I brought that on myself.
No, but here, what I really want to get to is one of the things that you've really shared. And after you brought it to light, I've seen it so accurately, is that the communities are really exciting places for seniors to be. It's not, when I was growing up, you used to hear about going into a home, and basically you went there for the last few months of your life to die.
That's correct.
Right?
It's correct. Our parents will say, "Don't ever put me in a home." But to them, thinking about when they were placing their parents 50 years ago, a home was a nursing home, convalescent home. So nowadays, assisted livings didn't exist then.
Right.
Nowadays, in fact, I just had a family yesterday. We went to a place in HB Huntington Beach here, brand new community. It's 1 year old, beautiful, full kitchen, 1 bedroom, beautiful place, and they couldn't believe it was like $4,500 to start, but all inclusive, all the meals, a gorgeous community, and it's like a hotel. It's a hotel, beautiful place.
And that's the point. I kind of chuckle. Again, I'll use my own situation. My mom has a beautiful home. She loves it. doesn't want to move out of it, doesn't really need to from a healthcare standpoint, but I've got an aunt that lives in a community, and my mom ends up going over to some of the events that are with my aunt.
Exactly. They got just a full calendar of events constantly. I've had some family members who I help with their parents. They'll call me. I'll go, "How's your mom doing?" They'll be, "I don't know. I haven't talked to her in a month. She's too busy. She's on the bus to the Getty Museum. She's going to the beach with the group over there. She's in the Bunko Club. She's in the poker club." That some communities have happy hour every night. Not one night a week, every night.
Nice.
So it's stuff like that they, there's art classes, there's all kinds of things that they can do.
And then they've also got the other side of it, and I know that this is one of the areas that my mom takes advantage of as well, is they have exercise geared for the senior.
They do.
Right? The things that are important. I mean, I can go and exercise, and at my age, it's one. I have one set of needs, but my mom has a whole different set of needs.
Yeah, several. Not only physical exercise, but also mental as well, to keep the brain going. The brain, like a muscle, perhaps, need to exercise it in order to keep it sharp. That's going to stave off the dementias and the Parkinson's. And
we're going to talk more about that part of it. Maybe mom and dad will live longer, grandma and grandpa live longer when they're in the communities. We'll talk about and see if there's any science behind my inquiry. When we come back, you're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. More with Tom Borsuk, Senior Samaritans, when we come back. How to maximize Medicare's benefit maze. We'll talk about that. You can reach us anytime. The off-air number, it's 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Connect with us, facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter @Ron Siegel. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Do you have a goal of mortgage-free home ownership? What if your home was valued at $500,000? Are you aware that a free and clear home could be costing you $2,500 every month, $30,000 per year? The mortgage planners at the Siegel Lending Team would like to show you how you can own your home, generate tax-free income, and accumulate family wealth. You simply need to call Ron Siegel at 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. By sending the team a copy of your most recent mortgage statement, the team will send you a no-obligation mortgage adoption plan. You be the judge if it's right for your family. Again, all you have to do is send the team a copy of your mortgage statement by email to map@ronsiegelradio.com or call today Ron Siegel, 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporation and MLS 217037 and BCAL BRE number 018694552.
Ron Siegel Radio Date Night Trivia, presented by Reunion Kitchen and Drink. Friday, Ron will pose a question based on on-air conversations during the prior 7 programs. The person to post the answer according to the guest conversation will win a date night package, including a dinner gift card for Reunion Kitchen and Drink. You might even be able to say hi to Ron when you visit Reunion Kitchen and Drink.
Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel Lending Team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel Lending Team knows that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 21037 and DRE number 018694552.
Are you purchasing or own a luxury home? If you're like so many others, your home is your largest asset and the mortgage is your largest debt. The Siegel Lending Team has some amazing financing opportunities right now. Jumbo loans up to $2 million, 30-year rates below 4%, 15-year rates near 3.5%, and if you can believe it, 7-year interest-only hybrids in low 3s. The Siegel Lending Team has all the options for your jumbo or second home loan requirements. Take advantage of them while you can. To learn more about all the other financing products available from the Siegel Lending Team, call 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL lendingteam.com. Again, call 1-800-306-1990. Rates subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender.
Few degrees hold the status of the MBA at U.S. University. Complete your MBA program in as few as 12 months. Quality, affordable education. That's usuniversity.edu.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That's my message, and as your consumer advocate, I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Your Credit Matters segment today brought to you by the VIP Hero program. Yeah, we love our heroes. VIPHero.com gives you all the details on the program. Take a look, see if you qualify. It could get you $5,000 to $10,000 rebate on your next purchase of real estate. Buying, selling, refinancing, they're all there. Plus some attorneys participate. Navigating how to maximize benefits in Medicare's maze is the subject today. Obviously, once you get to the age of 65, you get to start dealing with it. You've got the basic Medicare, but I just listen to a lot of folks. That's why I get to share this with you. Do you know if you don't have the extra coverage on your Medicare, every time you put your fanny in a hospital bed, it's $1,100 every single time? Do you want Part A? Do you want Part B? Do you want Part D? Which do you need? These are all issues that you really want to chat with somebody that knows the system. It's not an issue. Again, I chuckled at this one. My father-in-law, may rest in peace, he needed Part D. He had multiple sclerosis, battled it for 20 plus years. Does he need the same coverage as my aunt who has no health issues? Probably not, but they talk to each other and they say, well, this is what was best for me. People get the information from the wrong places, basically. It's given with great intentions, but that doesn't mean it's the right advice for you. Again, we've got a whole host of folks that come on the broadcast and talk about these issues, and they're more than, yes, they get paid for it. They get paid to give you advice. And I know that when you get into the senior age group, money's it should be for everybody, but when you're on fixed income, it's a major issue. But if you get the wrong coverage, isn't that a major issue also? Getting great advice, generally, what I've learned having many, many businesses in my lifetime and now doing a radio show where I get to talk to business owners multiple times per week, great advice costs absolutely nothing. They need to make a living. The advisors are all entitled to a profit and to make a living, and you should know how they get paid. That's not a problem. But it's not going to cost you anything if you get great advice, because it might save you a lot of money down the road. That is Your Credit Matters, again brought to you by the VIP Hero program, VIPHero.com. And obviously, it is Friday, so we have Ron Siegel Radio Date Night, presented by Reunion Kitchen and Drink. Ron Siegel Radio Date Night, presented by Reunion Kitchen and Drink. Great information on this one as well, because we're going to add a little bit to it than what we normally do. The question was answered on one of the last 7 broadcasts of Ron Siegel Radio, so if you were not listening, shame on you. Again, I will ask the president to help me with that, but if you were not listening, Mr. President, what happened to him, I think? You know something, I think Mr. President was muted.
So I know whose ass to kick.
That's a little better. So we heard earlier in the week, we had a police officer here who is in the Anaheim Police Mounted Unit. And they've got a big event coming up this Sunday, August 30th, Ronald Reagan Park, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Come out and say hello, benefiting the Police Mounted Unit and Chalk Children's Hospital. What breed of horses does the Anaheim Police Department use? What breed of horses does the Anaheim Police Department use? If you are the third person to post the correct answer on Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, Date night is a gift from us and our friends over at Reunion Kitchen and Drink. They're going to give dinner for two, movie tickets, a little bit of Starbucks, so if you can enjoy afterwards. What breed of horses does the Anaheim Police Department mounted unit use? Interesting question. That again, Ron Siegel Radio Date Night presented by Reunion Kitchen and Drink. Got any guesses, Tom?
No clue.
I was clueless too. I came up with Clydesdale because it was the only breed of horse I even knew. I didn't have a horse in the race though, so it didn't matter. Where's my friend here? Got it. Moving back.
Come back next week. Try the veal.
Exactly. There you go. Don't forget the last 3 days of the Home Sellers Guides and Home Buyers Guides. Summer Home Seller Guide. Text HSG to 79564. The Summer Home Buyers Guide. HBG to 79564. They're both free because you listen to Ron Siegel Radio and we appreciate it. We're continuing our conversation. Tom Borsuk, Senior Samaritans, is in the house. Tom, you know, one of the I'm going to just share this with everybody that's listening because I really am a fan of yours. And the reason that I'm a fan, not because of your selection of football teams.
I can't convert you, I'm sorry.
That part, I can't get you there. But here's the area that I do really admire. The part that I really admire is the heart that you work with. I know so many people that I've spoken to that we've sent over to chat with you, and whether they find the right community or not, they all come back with the same raving reviews that Tom was out there, he gave us, shared information, educated us, and you go out there, you know, we like to profess that we want the folks coming on the program coming on not as a salesperson, not as a proponent of something or another, but as an educator. And really the education that you provide people in the area of a lot of areas of senior living, not just the communities. I mean, I got to thank you. I mean, that's really great stuff.
You know, I'm blessed to be doing what I'm doing, to be honest. It's an honor for me because I think everything in my life trained me for this position. Everything in my corporate world, my coaching kids basketball because I coach families now, and then of course my experience with my father, going through that trauma and chaos with my dad. I've been on that side of it, so I'm just here to help families, you know, not make the same mistakes and really figure out what the deal is. And I think, like you mentioned, the advice should be, I think it should be no cost for good advice. You know, there's no cost for my services, and you can call me anytime and talk to me about what that is. And I think the best advice is free advice. You know, I really do. I think that means it's the person that's giving it has no financial interest in you per se, but your best interest.
Right.
You know?
And I haven't got the latest statistics, so I'm going to ask you ballpark because I know that they change all the time. We hear certain ads running for various communities. I hear some ones that are supposed to be very, very nice communities in the Newport Beach area. Mm-hmm. How many communities, senior communities, roughly are there in Orange County?
Oh my goodness! If you include all the different types of communities, there's about 1,100.
1,100
in Orange County.
In Orange County, and then you're also dealing in San Diego County.
San Diego County's another
Inland Empire.
900, and LA County's another 1,300. So you're talking about 3,000 to 4,000. If you go San Bernardino, Riverside County, it's 5,000 to 6,000 communities.
Yeah. How do I know which is the right one for me?
Yeah.
I mean, what's the process that you take a senior through?
So actually, I'll take the family through, which is actually go meet. In fact, I'm doing that this afternoon. I'm meeting with a family in their home, understanding, first of all, the care needs for their elder. That's number one, the care needs. The second one is the family dynamics. Who's paying for it? How are we paying for it? Is there a brother, a sister? What do the siblings think? Where are they located? Is one out of state? Is one South County, one North County, one in a different county? Where are they located? And then understanding and helping helping guide them through what type of community, because there's memory care for dementia and memory loss, there's assisted living large community if they have some independence, and then there's residential homes, which is 6 seniors maximum and 2 caregivers, so much higher level of care, but it's in a home setting environment, and there's 900 of those in Orange County. So once we pick the structure, then we decide what location and the budget. That's another factor. And then I identify several communities for them to see. I set up a tour. They go in my car. We go together, and I help brainstorm with them, and I tell them what kinds of questions to ask, what things are important, what things are not. Don't worry about the person trying to sell you on their place. We'll talk about all those factors, and then we'll go to the next community, and then we'll go to the next community, and we'll talk about all of them, and then we'll reconvene, brainstorm about all of it, and pick the right one.
So it's a whole process. So it's not, and you can't do that with a company that's online that is sending you out 200 brochures or 30 or 40 or whatever the number is, right? I mean, it can be kind of crazy.
I had a lady yesterday, when she came to me, she goes, I've already visited 3 communities, and I just don't know what to ask. That's what she said to me. I don't know what to ask. So I get the pitch from them, but I don't know if that's good or bad, what they're saying. I don't even know. And then they'll tell me something. I'd never even heard it before. So helping them navigate with the lingo. ADLs. What's ADL? They'll say ADL. What's that? Activities of daily living. Bathing, dressing, toileting, walking, eating. Just understanding and educating them and helping them through the whole process. And they really need that family advocate on their side. And no cost. Why not?
Absolutely. If you want to meet Tom Borsuk, give me a call, 800-306-1990. Be happy to put you in touch. And be sure to set that first radio preset button to come back here every day to join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A very big thanks to Steve, who's engineering us today. And, of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions, call me anytime, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember my motto, make a lot of money, help a lot of people, have a lot of fun, have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.
And strong, make it a hurricane before I go insane. It's only 12:30, but I don't care. It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
XAKA News 700 AM Negatif Baja California.
You're listening to ESPN Radio 1700.
Come celebrate new Shell V-Power Nitro Plus Premium Gasoline with a chance to upgrade